Hello everybody and welcome to thehappysphere.com. I'm your host El Carlo and this is the internet's happy show. Alright, so continuing with the last show, I guess you must be wondering, so how do I change? You know, are you gonna tell me or are you just gonna throw these sciencey terms at me and that's it? Yes, I want to give you some examples of my own, you know, but I need to kind of like work on the ground, you know. I need to tell you kind of like the basis, and this is how I understood these kind of things. So everything that I tell you here, it's according to what I apply to my life and what I have gotten good results from, right? In essence, is what works. And there's two main things. One is the brain. How does the brain work? The brain, very fast, is a computer. It's exactly like a computer, right? It's made out of genetic hardware and memetic software. Memetic being ideas, right? Ideas, thoughts, belief systems, what I said last time. The brain is very powerful. The brain is the most powerful computer in the world. And the software is the one that we have to upgrade constantly. Or maybe change the operating systems and get new software all the time, and you know, all these things, right? So this is the first part of how I did understand this. The second part is about these belief systems. I had to understand that the truth, you know, the truth of the world doesn't really exist. Nobody holds the truth, you know. What I came to realize is that, you know, the belief system of Catholicism is not the truth. The belief system of Democrats is not the truth. The belief system of marriage is not the truth. All these things are just models, are models, are software. It's software. It's software where you can do stuff. You know, it's software, are models for us to understand life and understand what are we doing here and how do we do it. So being a ist, you know, environmentalist or etc., etc. You get the point. When it becomes a problem, I guess, for oneself and, you know, for the rest of the people as well, is when you believe this to be the truth. You know, when you hold it so dear to you that you say this is the only way. You know, when you take for granted everything around you, when you don't pay attention to what's going around you. And, you know, just one example, you know, Catholicism can be the truth because it's just a religion. And how many religions are there? And how many religions are claiming to be the truth? You know, I can't just be something. I can't just be a conservative, you know, because that labels me and puts me in a box. If there's a good idea that comes from the liberals, then I limit myself of taking that idea and incorporate it into my fucking box and make my life more beautiful, you know? So whenever you hold something as the truth, that's when we get confused. That's when we go through life as you know, in a quiet desperation. I was reading this book, Virus of the Minds. Can you see it? And it's by a guy called Richard Brody. And this book is really good. This guy explains a lot of things. It's about memetics. And he explains that the only way to change practically is to pay attention, you know? To pay attention, to be willing to change, or to be willing to accept that there are other bullshit, because everything is bullshit. If nothing is the truth, then everything is bullshit, you know? That there's other bullshit that might be helpful to you, you know? So paying attention, be willing, and patience. Why patience? Because once you start looking around you, paying attention to what's actually happening in the world and what is actually evolving in the world and how we're thinking differently now. Well, a lot of people. Then it's an ongoing experience. It's a never-ending story. Okay, you won't graduate from this. Like you won't get a diploma and say like, oh, I am done. I learned everything that I have to learn. No. Forget it. This is only the beginning. So you gotta have to be very patient. You're gonna have to be very patient for your brain to be able to absorb all this information and process it and give you some answers back. Just like a computer, right? Computers are fast though, but our brains are fast too. And there are a lot of techniques, which I'm not gonna talk about. You have to read neuro-linguistic programming, you have to read memetics and that kind of stuff if you're really interested in these things. If you're watching this video anyways, you're already suggested to all these things that I'm saying. And you have to check Sir Ken Robinson. This guy talks about education and talks about how the educational system should change, because 50, 60, 70 years ago, the educational system worked wonders. It was really good because that's what that's what society needed. What was coming out of that educational system. So for this time, this educational system, it's and its basis, its fundamental basis, are completely out of date. It doesn't work anymore. That's what he says. So he touches a lot on changing ways of thinking, revolutionizing things, looking around to see what's going on. I like what the Democrats say here. I like what the Republicans say here. Incorporate it into your life. I like what science is telling me here. I like what religion is telling me here. And incorporate it into your life. All these different philosophies. All these different philosophies are good. They were created with an overall objective of goodness, for people. But most of them are out of date. And again, by putting yourself in a box called belief system, then you limit yourself. So think outside the box, and check out the part in my blog that says concepts. I explain a little bit of those things there. And drop me a line. All right? Thanks. Bye.